Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Linux is a powerful operating system which gives you a lot of freedom and options of customization. It is the first choice for many technical folks. I record my own videos using Linux, but handling sound and related issues seems to be a problem sometimes. So, if you try to record video or just sound with the default installation, then you may run into problems. For example, there is a lot of noise, chirp, hissing sound, or whistling sound, whatever you call it. So I'm going to outline some steps here, which will help you produce good quality sound with your sound recording or video recording. First, let me open this editor here. First, you must know that sound is processed by two programs in Linux. One is called ELSA, right? And the other one is pulseaudio. So ELSA processes sound at the kernel level, while pulseaudio works at the application level to manage sound in Linux. And there's a third program also, which is the sound settings in Linux, right? So these three programs are used to manage sound in in any Linux distribution. So let us first check whether you have these programs installed in your system. Or for this, you just open a terminal window. You can write term here to open a terminal window, right? Or just press Control Alt T to open the terminal window. So just write ELSA here. So yes, it gives a response. It means that ELSA is installed in this machine, and just to write pulse audio. Yes, there is a response again. So daemon is already running. So and the third is sound settings. Sound settings you can open from here. Right settings, and you see this sound. These are the sound settings here, and we are interested in out input settings, right? So using these three programs you can manage sound. So further you have two ways to actually manage this. One is to manual option, manual control. For the manual control you adjust settings in pulse audio and sound settings. For example, I have pinned pulse audio here, or you can just write down pulse audio here and just open it. And again, we are interested in input devices. And this is the internal microphone or whatever microphone you are using, it will be shown here. So this is the silence base, this is the key. If you move it to the right, the sensitivity of the microphone increases. If you move it to the left, the sensitivity decreases. If you move it right, the volume will increase, but so will the noise also. So you need to find an optimum place for this place marker here to adjust the sensitivity level so that the noise is not too much prominent. And again, in the sound settings, here, you need to adjust this input volume. Again, if you move it to the right, the volume will increase, but the noise will also. So again, you need to find an optimum combination here. Input volume level here and the silence base here in the pulse audio. You need to adjust both these markers such that the noise is minimized. But that is a difficult task doing manually. And sometimes uh, your why when you cancel the noise, when you minimize the noise, the volume of your sound is also quite low. The quality is not that good. So There is an alternate option to uh, load a noise cancellation module in Pulse Audio. So, for example, so let's tweak with Pulse Audio a little bit. If you want to see the man page, the manual page of Pulse Audio, just write man and Pulse Audio here. It will open a manual page of Pulse Audio, right? These are the different commands that you use, that you can use with the Pulse Audio. But uh, for example, this is dump config. So Pulse Audio dump config. So it will dump the configuration of the Pulse Audio. So it just scrolled up. Let me pipe the output to the program less. It will display the page wise. So you see here, uh, default script file. So this is the script file which Pulse Audio executes each time it starts. So we can add a line, couple of lines there to load a noise cancellation module whenever Pulse Audio starts. So let's just first see that this file is present there. uh, List ls is for list minus l slash etc slash pulse. That's the path to that file. Default dot pa. Yes, so the file is there, and we have just read permissions, but the super user, the owner, has write permissions also. So just let's open that file and add a couple of lines there. So as you do, just let me use the previous. So as you do, and put an editor name here, vi. For example, I usually use vi, but I warn you, don't use vi if you haven't used it before. We can use nano also. For example, nano is a good editor, and we can use gedit also, right? So you can use any one of the editors that you use. So with vi, uh, it asks for the super user password here. So let's go down and add a line there for the noise cancellation module, right? So this hash sign shows these are the commands, and these are the modules which are being loaded here. For example, here this line here I have added myself to load this noise cancellation module. So this line is not there by default. You need to uh, write it yourself uh, to uh, load the module here. But before you do that, you just need to copy this file. For example, cp is for copy. As you do, cp slash etc slash pulse slash default dot pa, and save the original configuration to some secure place so that you can revert it if needed. Default.pa dot, for example, org for original, right? So I have saved this configuration. Once I have saved it, I can open the editor as I told you earlier, and then I can edit the file, right? So yes, here. So module load module space module dash echo dash cancel, and space source underscore name is equal to noise free source, and then add a second line here, right? See that, set uh, default source, set dash default dash source, and space this name here that you used. So this will set the noise free source, noise free mic source, as the default. So you don't have to choose the source manually each time you start recording, right? So this line is optional here, and this string here is also optional. If you do not use this string, then don't use this one also here, right? This line also here. So the compulsory setting is only this part of the string here. But if you don't use this one, then you will have to uh, select the this noise cancellation manually each time you start recording. So once you have done that, you must save your settings, right? And exit, and then you should restart pulse audio. For example, you could do as you do kill all uh, pulse a audio. So that will restart pulse audio on most of the Linux machines. But if it doesn't, depending upon your distribution, you can find a way to restart pulse audio for your particular Linux distribution, or simply restart your machine, and that will definitely restart pulse audio, and the new settings will take effect. With noise cancellation module will also be loaded, right? So once you have done this, so within pulse audio you will see a new entry here, this one, right? As I've already done it, it is already there. But if you do not use echo cancellation module, then this entry will not be available in your pulse audio input devices section. So once you have loaded the module and restarted pulse audio, this entry will be available with you. And in the sound settings also, in the input devices section, you have this option here available, and it will be automatically set as default. If you don't have uh, set up the default.pa file with the echo cancellation module, then only this internal microphone or other sources which are available with you will be available here. So, and if you do not put that the default source line there in the configuration file that I told you earlier, yeah, this line here, yes. So if you do not write the source name and do not put this line here, right, then it will not be set as the default source, right? And you will have to manually select it each time you start recording. So that's it. Once you are done, you can use this built-in audio analog stereo with echo cancelled, and your volume level will be much better, and there will be noise, no noise, background noise in your recording. So that is the way to do it with noise cancellation module. So that concludes this configuration setup for uh, noise cancellation in Linux.